Alright guys, so welcome to the Setting the Foundation. So here we're going to talk a bit on the fundamental long-term success mindset that you should have in order for you to succeed not only online but also in your life. To be able to create and design the lifestyle that you want, but also have a life that is fulfilling. So there's three pillars I want to share with you that are the fundamental elements for success. First of all is the self-actualization. Second is business systems. And third will be building your brand, okay? Who you are, what you stand for. So the first one covers the mindset, physical transformation, and skill mastery. If you look under the second one, we are talking there about consistency, something that you can replicate, and again, another system that you can scale, okay? Because not everything that you can replicate, you can scale, but it needs to have those two fundamentals. And when it comes to the third pillar, it talks about the vision, the polarizing character, and the pioneer. Okay, so that's what we're going to focus on for the next couple of slides. Now keep in mind, by the time you're watching this video, you should have already filled in the PDF that we talk about when we are talking about creating new character. Okay, so let's walk them through. First of all, we want to talk about self-actualization. So here we talk about three things. Okay, we are talking here about learning a new skill. So you want to build a new character, get rid of the old character, the old mindset. Okay. The second thing is awareness. Okay, we want to be very aware of our emotions, our ideas, our beliefs, and what stimulates those things. Okay, because again, we want to remove everything that is negative, anything that goes against helping us achieve our end outcome. And the third is we want to have breakthrough ideas and or breakthroughs in how to conquer anything that is a stumbling block for us not reaching our goals. Okay, as we said, if you go through this PDF, you're gonna see a lot of things that can hold you back. Okay, constraints that can be basically be your belief, your mindset that can be making the wall much more taller for you to go across. And what we want to do is break those one by one. Those blocks of that wall, we want to break it one by one. And the way we do it is by creating goals, okay? Creating things that we want to achieve one by one. Now, you cannot do this overnight, and that's why I built a plan for you to do within 6 to 12 months. Why? Because if you do something consistently for at least 90 days, if you're very rigid, very strict, very consistent with it for like 90 days, you will start to develop a habit. And that habit will end up turning and consolidating into something very tangible within the next 6 to 12 months. Okay? So in my case, showing you my example again, and this PDF again walks you through the process, is that I came up with my merch, I came up with a course program, I came up with a merch design. Also, my aim is to grow my YouTube channel. Therefore, I recommend you guys, if you want to learn more how I do that, go to my YouTube channel and become a subscriber, because there I'm going to educate you guys on how I do it as well. Okay. With that in mind, I wanted to build a community. That community is of like-minded freelancers, remote workers, professionals, etc. They want to basically live a lifestyle of where they can travel the world, make the money they want online, and at the same time have an influence or an impact on other people within their generation. And with that, again, you can see the laptop, you can see the money, you can see the physique, traveling around the world without restriction, okay? The only way you can do that if you're not tied down to something specific within your environment. So we need to help you understand one thing. This is going to require for you to transform your mind, your thinking, okay? So as we said previously, we want to transform who you are as a person and make this into a roadmap of which you become a better version of yourself. It starts first, as we said here, by auditing with this PDF. Then, once you realize that, we want to focus on the physical part. So the previous one was the mindset. Now we want to focus on the physical part. The physical part is the visual aspect that stimulates you or that you see on a daily basis. So you want to be aware of people, habits, or routines that are self-sabotaging and removing those. You want to also be aware of your environment, okay? Because you want to put yourself in an environment that stimulates your creativity. For me, for example, I cannot go to a place where I have people that are negative, or I have people fighting, or I have people always talking about things that are wrong in their life. If I put myself into that environment, I tend to be very negative as well. So I need to remove myself from there. Therefore, I don't accept into the community people that are criticizing or people that are fighting or argument or all those things. I kick them out immediately. The reason is I want to build an environment, a community where people support each other, people help each other figure things out, and at the same time, people are literally giving others the tips and solutions they need to solve any problem they're having. Okay? With this comes discipline. Discipline in the way you perform, discipline into the commitment that you have, and also discipline in the way you persevere throughout difficulties, up and downs within your life. Okay? So, in other words, if you go, for example, down this video, you will find a link that goes to this PDF. Okay? This PDF is also available into the Notion dashboard, but I will show you later on where you can get this within the Notion dashboard. But for now, you're only going to get the access to the PDF because I don't want to give you everything up front and then you get lost within the process. I want you to do everything step by step. So first was to download the PDF where you develop your new character. Now it's about developing your physique, okay? Everything that you see physically of yourself so you can feel confidence of yourself. And with this, we want to start by making sure that you have proper diet, proper workout, and all those things in place. Okay, so that's basically the rule of this. Then we want to master a skill. Okay, these are the 3 key steps for self-actualization. All right, the third one is mastering a skill. So you need to be focusing on becoming the best in regards to insights. Be someone that can share insight. Be someone that knows a topic inside and out. Okay, so whenever people talk about design, for example, designing website, you know a lot about designing cars, you know a lot about designing something anime related or video editing or something has to do with law or something that has to do with coding, etc. You know a lot about either the software or you know a lot about the skill itself, what to do and what not to do, what's best practices, etc. So when you can share this insight, it helps you stand out because no other person probably knows what you know based on your experience. Okay, insight comes due to experience, due to knowledge, due to wisdom, because you practice it, you've done it, you've read about it, you've seen other people's perspective, you heard other people's opinion, and you can kind of find your way out throughout hurdles and problems and difficulties because you have the backup of the information. The other part is building projects. So as you go, and you will see throughout this program as well, and throughout these slides, how I will share with you that I'm building things in public as I go, and I'm updating constantly my newsletter on the status. So publicly, I'm building stuff, and within the newsletter, I'm updating people on what's going on behind the scenes. Okay, for those of you that probably are on the podcast as well, like the premium newsletter, you will also get my insight on what's going on in the industry. So that's an added, I would say, upgrade towards the newsletter. But then it gives you an idea as well as, oh, so I have different levels. It's not simply about, hey, let me give everything up for free upfront on social media. But on social media, you talk about the projects, okay, and you build them in front of people. On your newsletter, you talk about the insight that you're sharing with them and the guides of how they can do it. And then on your premium newsletter, I go more on the industry trends and ups and downs and insight on what's going on behind the scenes. So if you think about it, I have different levels of which I educate people, and I want you to replicate this as well. And then as last, we have results sharing. Okay, so I'm sharing with you within my workshops the good and the bad and the ugly. Okay, the workshops are for people to have a good perspective on what are the great things they need to know, what are the average things that they probably should avoid, and what are the ugly things they definitely should not do. Okay, so this is where you are basically trying to attract 3 different type of people, of which one of them will be people that don't know who you are. Second of them will be people that already consume some type of content, but haven't taken the decision to work with you or do anything specific with you when it comes to purchasing something. And you will attract people that have the problems that you have the pain points that you have, want to develop or create the same thing that you did, and they don't want to go through the ugly side, so they will take immediate action to avoid all the pains and problems. So with that in mind, you want to have an offer for them. Okay, so those are the 3 levels of audiences. Now, you can split it up into 5, but basically those are the 3 ones you want to think about when you're creating content. So with this, again, when we post it on social media, this is what happens. For you to develop your idea, for you to have knowledge of different things that you can consolidate into one social media post or YouTube video, is basically through reading books. If you are not someone that is currently doing that, I would highly recommend you maybe listen to audio podcasts or audiobooks, one of those 2 things. You can also watch videos based on your interest and learn about the topic, okay? And or you can start building whatever you want, one project per quarter. So every quarter of the year, and the year has 4, so you can focus on building 4 projects. So you have to come up with an idea what it is. It might be your social media presence, it might be your newsletter, it might be your product, it might be your service, it might be a joint venture partnership where you guys, 2 of you or 3 of you have like a podcast that you show up together, etc. So something like that is what you have to be building so you can become an expert in that area. So if you would like to launch a product and share something that you love, you have to build a project related to that so that you can start talking about it as you're building it and showing people as you're building it, and becomes way more easier to win people over because they can say like, literally this guy is sharing everything honestly and upfront, and this guy is legit, therefore I want to stick with him and want to work with him for the long term. All right guys, so this is basically the idea when it comes to showing you guys how to self-actualize yourself. So the first one, as we've seen, is the mindset, understanding exactly what you need to do and what you need to focus on. The second part will be understanding and doing on a daily basis, having as a routine anything that supports your physical health, okay, so that you can build the body that you want and feel more confident. And the third part is focusing on your skill. If you can do this, it's going to be way more easier for you to understand what goes around in the world, be very critical about the things that you're seeing, and then standing out with the insight that you're sharing. Because I don't want you to become a sheep because someone popular out there posts something on social media and you're like, yeah, that's awesome. No, I don't want you to be that. I want you to be the person that says like, okay, that is great, but I have a different way of thinking about that topic, and this is my insight. Okay, so when you can share an argument, give an argument about a specific topic, that is how you stand out, because people can clearly see that you have knowledge to share with the rest of the community. The second thing will be is business. Okay, so we want to talk about it, break it down, but the second thing is the business insight. So I'm gonna basically try to do it in phases. So now we're gonna talk about consistency, something that we can replicate, and something that we can scale.